Hi, once again, my name is Omabala Steven, and welcome to Live Well Live by Omabala Steven. Now, if you want to catch up with some of my missed episodes, you can go online, search for Live Well Live by Omabala Steven on any podcast distribution platforms, or perhaps you can catch up with me on any social media platforms on Instagram, Omabala Steven, on Facebook, Omabala Steven, on LinkedIn, Omabala Steven. Now, on today's show, I have a guest with me, Zan Planosvek. He's the host of Mastery Line, a personal development podcast, which is focused on helping people become the very best version of themselves. Now, that's very beautiful. Welcome with me, Olaiwa Lipamapala Steven, is Zan Planosvek.
Hi, thank you for having me.
All right, it's a pleasure. Thank you once again for coming on the show today. So, can my audience meet you, please?
Yeah, well, like you said, I'm Zan, I'm from Slovenia. I love personal development. In the last 4 years, I dedicated my life to study these most successful people like Nelson Mandela, Russell Branson, Tony Robbins, just all the people that I could find that have achieved something great in life. And I studied them and just wrote down a few things that made them successful, like what I think and their life rituals and all those things. And I would like to study that and teach other people to do that and achieve their goals.
Mm,
And I'm
great.
also a truck driver. Yeah,
That's okay.
yeah.
So, why do you focus on personal development topics?
When I was young, I had all the things that a person can have. Like I had health and love, and I wasn't abused. My country has streets and electrician, and all the things that a person needs to, strive. But I just didn't strive. I was very unhappy with my life. I was angry a lot and just didn't see the picture in living. And I was like very sad, and I thought, well, there's something has to be wrong with me because everything else is working perfectly. And that's when I decided I'm gonna study success and look at what other people do. And
Mm,
yeah,
that's great. That's great. That's motivating. Like other people's success story has been able to inspire you till date. That's very okay. So
yeah.
you studied civil and geodetic engineering, right? And so in school, at what point in your life did you decide that like you want to take a transition? You don't want to do that again. You want to become a personal development coach.
Yeah, well, 1 year after finishing it, I was like, I remember that day walking on the street, and I thought I was 23, 22 years old, something like that. And I was walking on the street, and I was thinking, like, my shit, like, I'm still unhappy. Like, 5 years before this event, I was thinking, I'm gonna go on university there. I will be surrounded by successful people that are studying, that are working on their minds. But
Mm,
interestingly, I wasn't happy because schools aren't designed to make you happy. They are massively designed to make as much people as possible to work their job, like to sit down and be quiet when they say so, and work, be at the time on their work. They weren't designed to make you a happy person. At least in my country they aren't. And yeah, that's when I saw that I'm not getting the results that I wanted. I'm not happy with my life, and I said, screw all of this. I'm going project happiness. Here I come. I'm gonna find someone. How can I find success? I didn't want to uh, I always thought that speaking to other countries is like some robots that they will steal my money, and you have to pay if you want to get something. But I thought I'm unhappy, so screw it. Let's pay money, and I paid money to the first live personal development coach, who was Tony Robbins. He's an awesome guy. I can thank him enough for his learnings and all the things that he teach me. And yeah. I gave money to them, and I got so much in return, a lot of rules and mindsets. And that's when, yeah, 1 year after finishing it, I said screw all of this, and I made the right decisions for sure. I
mm.
see that when I look at back in my life.
So that's great. So looking back now, do you feel fulfilled or is still a journey?
Yeah, no, much better. Like when you work on personal development and
Mm,
learning from other people, you see that your problems are not unique. Like all of
that's right.
most,
That's
yeah,
right.
the most richest people have fears. The most richest people have that imposter syndrome, who says, I'm not good enough. I can't do this. Who do you think I am? Like all of the most successful people in this
That's
world
right.
have that. Yeah, yeah, you can't believe it. When I read this book, I was like, doesn't it?
Wow.
I was like, wow, they are like me. No, no
That's it.
kidding.
That's just it. There's
Yeah.
no, we are all the same. We are all the same, and that's why it's very good for us to be able to read other people's success story. Read books and inspirational books that can help motivate you, and you also realize that what they've passed through, you're also passing through it. So there's nothing so a big deal about all this stuff. So it's just for you to make up your mind, to become a better version of yourself, and that's what you're doing. So that's very brilliant. So, do you have any childhood trauma while you growing up?
Well, nothing. Like my father was a truck driver as well. That's not quite a drama. That's just he wasn't around a lot, so I was with my mother most of the time. But mostly I had some, like all of our. I think that all of us have like we here fighting our parents and a lot of things. But that's I think that I'm not different from everyone else. Like everyone has had that. But no, I didn't have. So that's why it was not a I wasn't taking ordinary life or if because most of people like to complain like oh I didn't have the childhood well some of the people even say like because I didn't have my father around that's why I'm doomed this life is here because I'm gonna fail in it because my father wasn't around and they find a
Mm,
reason for not working their life the way it should but
mm,
I was like, no, this can't be like if Nelson Mandela was 26 years in prison and have made a big shift in this world after coming out of that prison, and a lot of other
right.
people had so many trauma. Oprah Winfrey being abused
Mm,
when she was 13, like a lot of those things. Like that means that all of our things can be put aside and we can do something great with our life. Yeah.
that's right. Because also, don't you think that our mindset is very critical here? Because our parents have conditioned our mind, and I know that you agree with that. They've tell us this is the way to go, this is what to do, and so we are already driven by that conditioning, and so that's affected our relationships, even our decision making, and that's why you find so many people out there. They can take the right decisions, they can attract the right healthy relationships, and also they're so confused about life. So I think that we need to work on our mindset. Or what's your own opinion about that?
Yeah, yeah, it's all psychology. Everything psychology, I think, for sure.
All right. Okay. The
Sorry.
psychologist is say, okay. So now I want to ask you this question. How can one's thinking affect our life sources of failure?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
I wanted to ask you now, like, one's thinking, I mean, your thoughts, how can it affect your life successes or failures?
Well, that's like important thing because if we think that something is destroying us, like I hear about it all the time because I'm a coach here in my country as well, and
Hmm.
I hear about like I want to have children now because I have uh, I have the brain muscle
Hmm.
to work with them. And I'm like, listen, your brain muscle won't go away unless you won't use it. So
Hmm.
yeah, that's the important thing that most of people think that their mind is something that is being taken away bit by bit, but that's not
Hmm.
true. Your mind is like a muscle. You have to work it to be strong, and you will be much better if you will use it. So if you take a thing and say that this is bad, it will gonna be bad. But if you take your mindset and say everything is like a test or everything's like a mission or just something positive that you take, nothing not like a this is a punishment. This world is punishing me to suffer,
Hmm.
but just something positive. This is a gym for my mind, and that's when your mindset will grow and get better, and that's the important thing. You have to take that as a good thing. Yeah.
Do you have any experience you want to share with me?
uh well, what what about?
Experience on what you just talked about. Experience on thoughts.
Yeah, well, I had a same problem because I'm a truck driver, and
Mm,
when I'm driving on the street, when someone is pissing me, or someone takes my lane, or just does something dangerous that I could have a crash. Like I used to be like, damn, this guy is making a joke out of me. He
Oh,
wants to kill me,
cuz
or just
that's
do
normal.
some aggressive. But that's streets are dangerous. Like there are
That's
a lot
right.
of people that people I think that they know how to drive, but they they have their own rules, and yeah,
That's right. It's everywhere.
yeah, and that's when I shifted my mind of seeing like, okay, this is learning crew, like this is learning me to be more like watching out for these people, or maybe this person had a bad day in their life
Mm,
and they just couldn't see the big picture. Because I remember when I was very young, about 30, 40 years old, I went with my grandma because we had something urgent to do in the city. And I'm not from city, I live in a village, a small village of
mm.
100 people or so. And yeah, we had to go to city, and that's when my grandma didn't know how to drive in the city, and it was like, oh my god, we almost made a crash, and a lot of different things was happening that I just couldn't. They were mad, like, and now and then I think back, like, what if someone else is just had an urgent thing in their life and they just had to go to city, and they are very messed, they don't know exactly how to drive, and that's why they are so
Mm.
unsafe with their driving. And yeah, that's what I try to put myself in other person's view and
That's right.
see
That's very
something
important.
positive. Yeah, and
That's very
that's,
important.
yeah, it makes a huge difference in your
That's
mindset.
right.
Or else you think about, he's trying to kill me, he's messing around with me, like that will make
Mm.
you angry, but other things will make you, oh, I'm sorry, like I'm happy that I'm the one that you you almost made a crash, because I understand you, and I don't want to do nothing bad, I
That's
want
right. You're,
just the
you're
best
very
for you.
emphatic. You're
Yeah,
emphatic, and also you have a
yeah,
positive outlook towards life.
yeah, you're much kinder, and that's the nice thing, like you don't get that stress hormone. When
That's
stress
right.
hormone can cause you a heart attack, or and
Mm.
just messes your head. So yeah, that's the
Mm.
important thing. Yeah.
Brilliantly, brilliantly said. I love that. Thank you so much for that. It's been Lawali Pamabolo Stephen. I've been having a discussion on personal development with Zan Planosvek. And so it's been taking me through the journey of personal development and also his hobby. Now, the question for me to you is that can you share ideas that can help your audience become a better version of themselves?
Yeah, awesome question. Thanks. Well, I love to the time and time again when I was studying successful people, Conor McGregor, who's the best fighter in the whole world. Like I read it 1 week ago, or 2 weeks ago maybe, and he always starts his day with a dance, like some positive beginning in the morning. Like that thing comes time and time again. Nelson Mandela, when he was in prison, he had a cell, like a very small cell, and that's where he was working out every morning. Our body is designed to move, and yeah, that's, I would say that in the morning, take time for yourself. First, dance or do some movement so your body, your brain gets activated, because our brain, like I said, it's meant to move us. And
That's
then
right.
just, yeah, and then just set some goals, or think about what you're thankful for. I usually first think about three things that I'm thankful for. I try to visualize it as much as I can, because our mind doesn't see the difference between real or what's in our mind. What
Mm,
what we can imagine, we can feel as well.
that's
And
right.
yeah, first I think about what I'm thankful for, and think about three things, about 5 to 10 minutes, and then the next thing I pray for people that I love, people
Mm,
that I'm serving in my life, group coaching or wherever.
mm,
I gave praise and luck on the streets if I'm driving that day. And yeah, the last thing is visualizing, because when I was 23 years old and I was in college, when I was finishing it, I didn't have any goals. Like all of it, it was study, study, but that wasn't making me happy.
mm.
And that's when I now I think about like the other things that I want to achieve. I want to have a company. I want to help people. I want to have friends that are like me. And yeah,
Now you can create the life that you want for yourself.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm
That's
creating
right.
it. Yeah,
Mm,
and yeah, that's the last phase. Like Remember your goals. Why are you here? And don't think that you aren't worth it. If you're thinking that, like, get help. Like, there are a lot of other like me, like they could help you achieve your goals, and just be surrounded with someone that can believe in you. So yeah, then the last tip is set goals for your future.
Oh, all right. So, all right. So now you're talking about positive affirmations. We wake up in the morning. This is some of the words we say to ourselves, which is very critical. I also do that. I wake up in the morning and I tell the universe, "This is what I want for myself." And I tell you, it's just like a miracle. It happens, right? So I think it's very important what you said. I totally agree with that. Now, if you have someone in your life who is dealing with negative emotions, what solutions or what idea can you share with the person in order to overcome those negative emotions?
Yeah, the first thing is, I think that he must be prepared to change. Like, a lot of people have their negative, but they are just not prepared to change. So I don't deal with them. I look at people that I can help. Well, if someone is prepared to change, then I say, uh, look, our mind is a few million years old. It's very old, and it isn't designed to make you happy. It's designed to make you survive. Because if
Mm,
you would be 2,000 years ago, if your mind would be designed to make you happy, you would go on the walk and you would see a lion and a nice sunset, and then you would look at, it would be designed to make you happy, and you would see the sunset, like, oh, what a nice sunset, and the tiger would eat you alive. And yeah, it's that's the thing. Like, even in these days, our mind is still the same. It looks for things that are negative. That's why we buy the news and read that negative things, who died and what happened, disaster, bad in this world, because we are looking how to be alive all the time. And that's the thing. We have negative thoughts. Accept that. That's the part of you. But we are not our thoughts. That's the important thing. We are the thoughts only that we believe. And once you have a negative thought, just leave it pass by. Don't believe it. Don't
mm,
change it. Don't fight with it. Just let it be, and focus on your mind on something that you want. Like, that's the best thing. Like, I think that uh, creating your future is not to predict it, but is to design it. So yeah, set a
that's
goal
right.
and just work towards that. You're gonna have negative thoughts. That's just the way we are. We all have fears.
Of course. So how about taking action? Now you talk about, creating a picture of what you want, designing your life. How about taking action? What you say to that?
Well, the best thing is always find someone who's doing something that you're doing. Like,
Mm,
I always, when I look at my clients, I always make a make a list of at least 20 people that you would like to be like. Who inspires you? Who do you look up to? Because a lot of them won't reply to your messages, or you're gonna have you you can get them to talk to you. And yeah, that's when you can find Facebooks, books, everything that you need, and just read about how they did that, and just learning from them. So one of that, it is important to find a mentor that can spare you a lot of times, or just a
that's
books
right.
or workshops,
That's right.
mentors. Yeah.
That's right. That's very brilliant. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, or you can do it your own. Like, you have a brilliant, everyone that listens to this podcast, I'm sure, that has a brilliant
Mm,
mind, because
that's
he
right.
can do it on his own, but that will take much more time. And yeah, and you will
Mm,
spare some money, but
mm.
time is more important, I think. Money we can always get back, but time, well, goes faster and faster. I think that we have, it goes faster, yeah.
Right. So, do you have any project you're working on?
Right, yeah, now I'm working on my group coaching. Like,
Oh,
I'm working on changing beliefs, and making a vision board, how to create the life that you want, and just making them the best version of themselves. We are looking at relationships, environment, education, business, all of those things, and then we try to work a solution to everyone. Like, everyone measures those things. How is he in that scale? Because the important thing in life is, when one thing is crumbling, everything doesn't go your way. I remember when I had environment very bad. I was living in the I'm not kidding, in a house that someone was murdered. And after that someone was murdered in that house, I was still living in it, but I couldn't have anything else to work. I was miserable at my job, miserable at everything, and I couldn't have any good results. And I was thinking, how the hell I'm working hard? I'm sleeping very little. So yeah, that's important. More important thing. You gotta have all the other things working for in your favor in order to have the results that you want.
That's
So,
right.
yeah, so yeah, we look at different areas, we change, we work on beliefs and say looking for solutions to everyone's of problem. Everyone has a opportunity to give a problem, and we try to help each other because in the power is in the community. More that there is people, more they know. Like it's unimaginable how many ideas can we get to a problem. Like how can we save that, have a solution to that problem. So yeah,
Yeah, great. I wish you best of luck in your project.
yeah. Thank you so much.
All right, Zan. So, how can you be reached?
Well, you can reach me. I'm on Facebook, Zan Planosvek, Zan Planosvek. You can reach me on Facebook, or I have a podcast if you want to listen to successful people. It's just 2 to 7 minutes a day. I give just the
All
important
right.
things about that, and yeah, uh,
On what your podcast on what platform? On what platform?
uh, uh, it's on many. I'm not sure. Radio Public
All right. So
and
what's the name?
Apple.
What's the name of your podcast? What's the name?
It's the master line.
Okay, Masterline. All
Yeah, you can
right.
find me for sure. Like I'm on 7, 8, 9, something like that platform. So yeah,
Right.
if you
So if
you
if we
want, you can
get to
find.
social media, when we get online, just search for Masterline on Google, right, or in a search engine, then it pops up, right?
Yeah, that's where you find my Facebook group, Create Your
All right.
Destiny. But other is my profile, Zan Planosvek, and you can find me there, and we can talk, we can work on each other. So yeah.
Right. Thank you so much once again for coming on the show. Maybe some other time we can do this again.
Oh, it was awesome. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much. I wish you best of luck always in your projects and in your endeavors.
Thank you, and you too. Keep up the good work. I love your podcast.
All right. Thank you so much. So it's been Lawali Bababala Stephen. Thank you for joining me on this show. I hope some other time we can do this again. I'm sending all my love to you, saying stay safe always and it's bye for now.